what it is.
And so,
So
are you interviewing photographers or?
most of the people that I've interviewed are photographers. I would have liked to interview an art director as well, because I like
Okay.
direction as well, and a stylist. And I've got a model as well. So I'm just researching into different job roles. So I really like photography as well, but I would also want to get into creative art direction. But I
Yeah.
came across your page and I was like, I really like your work, so that's why
Yeah.
I reached out.
Okay. Thank you.
So how did you come about photography? Like how did it start? What got you into photography?
So I did a undergraduate, like a BA in fine art.
Yeah.
And for most of that, I was doing like printmaking, like screen prints, like wood carving, like proper old school techniques. And it's only like in my third year where I was doing screen printing, but I was using photography as I was using the camera to take pictures of things that I wanted to screen print.
Yeah.
And I found that actually, like when I had the screen prints and when I had the photographs were stronger by themselves.
Yeah.
But then that was like right at the end of my degree. It was literally like my final project. I was using the camera to do screen prints, and I realized actually the photography is better.
Yeah.
And then so my final show, I showed just photographs
Yeah.
and some other stuff as well. And then so as I left uni, I was very much like, oh, I like photography, but you know, I have no idea. And so I sort of I graduated like 2015, 16. And so I sort of just picked up the camera when I finished uni and just started taking pictures, really.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of started. It was very much me like just learning how to take pictures, like technically how cameras work and the exposure triangle and things like that. But in 2016, so when I graduated, as like a present, my dad took me to Jamaica.
Oh, okay. Are you from Jamaica?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've realised actually after going through your page, but yeah.
And I'd never been before, so it's very much like, you know, I'm proud of you. You've done your degree. I'm gonna bring you to Jamaica. And I went like with a camera, and it was very touristy though. Like I did lots of touristy pictures, but then I took some pictures of my family and stuff like that. And so I think around that time, like I graduated, I was interested in photography. I was learning photography. You know, I went to Jamaica, and I think around that time, like 2016, is when it sort of sparked my sort of interest in photography.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of your photography like captures real moments and like, especially in like black and white, like, and they really tell a story. What were your previous job roles? So was it just photography? Have you always been doing photography or? What are your?
Yeah, I've sort of always been doing photography, and even now I'm still figuring it out because I went on to do an MA in documentary photography and photojournalism.
Oh, wow.
I graduated from that last year, December. So from like 2016, when I finished my BA, I had like about a 4 or 5 year gap, and then I started my MA in 2019. And I think the gap was very important because it gave me a chance to it gave me a chance to learn photography, be interested in it, but then it also gave me a chance to grow up and sort of know exactly what I want to do. So I think like that little gap in between was very important for me. And it was very much like, because I did a BA in fine art, I guess I know what it is to be an artist technically, and to like actually have ideas in my mind, but then also be like, I have these ideas, how do I get them across visually? And so I think I had hit a stage in photography where I think that was lacking. It was like, I have these ideas and these things I want to learn and research, and I want to use photography to do that, but I'm not sure about how to go about doing that. So it was like, actually, let me maybe study again and do an MA. And so in that sense, my my career as an artist, I'd say, has only been in the last since I started my MA. So a lot of my air quote success I've had has been from 2019 till now. But then like before I started my MA, I was doing like event photography. I would do like headshots and portraits for people that wanted like images for their website. I did for about 2 years or so, just before COVID. I was doing real estate photography where you take pictures of like houses and things like that. So all of that stuff was like very much like bread and butter. It was like the stuff you needed to sort of do to make money, then fuel the artistic side of things. So I have sort of always done it. And at the moment, I'm still doing retail. Like I work 2 days a week, 3 days a week, just to pay bills, and then I freelance as a photographer here and there. But as it's winter, for me, it's quite quiet. Well, normally when it's summer, I'm much more busier.
Oh, wow. No, I was even going to say about, because I've noticed as well that you've taken pictures in various environments, and like there was one image that I came across, and if I could get it up, I should have even had it up. But there was an image I came across, and it was an interior space, and you had like a man sitting in the corner. Did you set up that whole room? Because it looked so like perfectly put together. Like I was looking at the images and I was like, okay, there's like, this is different because it's
I think
details.
I think that it was a white man wearing glasses. Yeah. So I have a project. Yeah. So again, this is like the art side of things. So no, I have a project here. It's called 1 Year of Therapy, and it's me documenting my therapy sessions. So that is my therapist, and that's what his room looks like. That wasn't set up. That's just how his room looks. That wasn't set up.
That's just how his
room.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really
but it's funny.
Like set up.
But it's funny you mention that, because I feel like doing real estate photography, and because when you do real estate photography, it's very like 2 + 2 is 4. It's very mechanical. It's very much like you need the widest lens, you need a specific camera, you're in the corner of the room to make the room look as big as possible, right? So it's not very, there's not much artistic, there's very little like artistic ness to it, but in that sense, I guess the skills I learned from doing real estate photography, I brought over to do that therapy project, because it was very much like, okay, like I want to document my therapy sessions. How do I do that? And it was like, well, when I do real estate photography, this is what we do, and so it'll just be something similar to that. And then so it kind of carried over those skills, I guess.
It honestly looks amazing, and I can see even with like you talking about obviously going through different stages from your fine arts and then into like going into the MA, that like honestly you can see the journey within your work as well, because you mentioned the journalism and the documentary journalism, and even with your images, it just speaks, like with you speaking about like the whole journey and everything, it really it gives me background information about your work, and it lifts it high. Your work is amazing. So it's just
thank you very much.
Yeah. But the next question is, okay, no, not this. So obviously you said you were doing freelance. So I don't know if this will like still apply to you, but what are the expectations of your job role like?
Expectations in what sense?
Yeah, that's why I said it. I don't think it would. You know what?
Like what? Like what I expect to gain from freelancing?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. Again, I think freelancing for me at the moment, because it's the type of work I do. Again, I think I'm in a stage where I'm trying to figure out. Like, I graduated in 29, no, last year, and so I spent this year just sort of trying different things and seeing maybe which avenue I want to go into. And so, like, I've, you know, like I said, I do event photography. I do headshots for, you know, do corporate headshots for anyone who wants stuff done for their website. I've done location photography, like taking pictures of places outside for someone else's archive, like, and so that stuff doesn't really it pays the bills, but doesn't really interest me. I definitely need some sort of creative outlet when I work. Like, I need to, like, I guess I'm like an artist. I need to sit down, research things, and be fueled by the research to create work. And especially with documentary photography, there needs to be some sort of like social or political sort of foundation to the work. That's what makes it, I guess, documentary. And I did an internship at The Guardian, which I enjoyed, but I don't think I would like to do news photography per se.
Yeah.
But I did. So I guess in regards to freelancing, I'm just, again, it just sort of pays the bills, and I'm hoping maybe it will help me fuel, you know, other things. But I think my goal is to sort of teach. I think I would enjoy that. I would love to like lecture. So, because I've done some talks as well here and there. When the talks, you know, you get paid to talk for like 20 minutes, an hour, and I've really enjoyed that, and I think that's the direction I'd like to go in.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start making moves into figuring that out. I've been considering doing a PhD, because when you do a PhD, you know, teaching is sort of intertwined with it. Like, I think when you do a PhD, they expect you to teach and lecture as well.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So this is another answer. I don't know. How many hours a week do you work? It depends. It would depend, wouldn't it?
Varies. It does vary. Yeah. I mean, like I said, at the moment, photography-wise, I'm not doing anything. Freelance photography, I haven't done anything for a while. But that's why I still do retail 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And in the summer, it can be something, could be anything between like 20, 30, 40 hours a week sometimes, depending on the project and how many like people, like clients I have. But then, like, again, that's very much like the freelancing photography. In regards to like my creative practice, I guess it's always on. I'm always thinking about, you know, different ideas and things I want to apply for, things I need to read, and I'm always making notes. I'm always thinking about stuff. I think this year, like I said, I've taken a break this year. I did an MA, so I thought I deserved a break. So I've taken a break. So it's not been as crazy, but I think next year I have some ideas about sort of my creative practice. So I probably will. I probably have to start being more strict with myself and actually designating hours in my week to go to libraries and research things and read things and do things. Yeah,
it's very interesting. I think that's like basically it for the questions. But apart from that, do you have anywhere to go? Do you have anywhere to go right now after?
No.
Oh, okay. For my own, like, just asking questions, like, I like I said, I really like your work, and hearing the background story from how like you got to where you are is really interesting. And yeah, even the whole research thing, because me myself, I'm a I'm a creative, and I've come from a art and design background. So I studied art and design at GC. I'm much younger, but I studied art and design in secondary school. And I think even from a young age, like, people realize, oh, Shantisha's got an eye for like drawing and painting and
Yeah.
things like that. But I was more like drawing around those times when I was in secondary school. Then like nearer to the end, as I was graduating, like I started getting into fine arts, paints. Then I went to college because it's kind of a thing that parents do, like Black parents or anything. They just like get to college, do whatever you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wasn't academic, so I had to go. I went into art and design again, but this time around, my class was filled with like people from different backgrounds, and like they all wanted to go into different things. And when it got closer to the time that I was supposed to figure out what I was supposed to do, all through that time that I was in college for the 2 years, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't even know whether I was going to go to uni and actually like get a good degree or anything. I was more looking at it and I was like, okay, but what have I actually gotten out of this? Then later on, like after searching and things like that, we found a fashion course. And I had, because in my college we had lectures where we would do mixed media lectures. So sometimes the lectures would be on media studies, it would be on drama, and we'll just be learning a bit about like all creatives. So I would have a lot of those lectures and I really, really enjoyed them because I forgot to mention, I also studied media at GCSE. So I really enjoyed that, and like advertisement and researching into different like demographics and everything. So so then eventually when it came to the time of picking my options for uni, I went into fashion. I was like, okay, this course is for me because it has this and that. It has me, advertisement, marketing, videography, photography, everything that I wanted to do. So then I went through the course, and it was good the first year. I learned a lot. The lecture was really good. I learned about like the triangle and things, but it's gone past me now. But I need to get back into it because if I want to get into photography, I'm gonna have to. So
Listen, I'm still like, sometimes I'm still,
yeah, because it's just a bit
I mean,
it's a lot. And like because of my eye for like acrylics and painting, I have a love for like color composition and color theory. Back then when I was studying color theory in the first year of college, it was a bit like, why are you teaching me this? Like, we've already learned this kind of thing. But now I'm realizing, okay, this has got a massive role in like everything that I do. So I did my first year at that uni, and the lecturer was really good. She specialized in photography, but she was teaching a fashion course. So I learned a lot from her. But I was like, this isn't really the course for me because I'm thinking of going into art direction. So I came here. That's why I'm here right now. But that's my kind of background stuff. I want to go into film at the moment. I feel like because we're at uni, I feel like a lot of our work, we just want to try and get the work done rather than like having a meaning behind our work. And I find that really like, it's getting to me because I know that back when I was at college, every single piece of work I did had a meaning to it. And then now, like progressing, I'm kind of just doing it because I have to do it. But because it's my hobby anyway, like it shouldn't be like I shouldn't see it that way. But yeah, I want to be able to have have my work have a meaning rather than it just being.
It's tricky because, like I said, this year I've been sort of just trying different things, and I've realized, like, if we're being honest, like I've assisted like fashion photographers, and I've assisted like photographers, shooting news at The Guardian, right?
Yeah.
And it's difficult because, like, when you are, say, I imagine when you're, from my personal like perspective, when you're a photographer, right, you're either like a photographer, which technically like you're a technician, you shoot images. So like you've been commissioned. So that they might like you as a photographer and they might like your style, but ultimately you've been commissioned to shoot like this thing, and they want it to look like how they want it to look. And you don't always have much creative control, and there's no need to even have meaning behind things. It's just actually like, I'm shooting this room to make it look as big as possible, or I've been commissioned by whatever magazine to shoot these people in these clothes in this location. And yes, you can then try and add, you make things look how like in your style, but ultimately there's not much meaning behind it. Right. But then you have the artist side of you, where actually this is my personal project and this is what I care about, and this is the research I'm looking into, and this is all the meaning behind the work, and I did this for this reason, because of this reason, and I looked at this thing and I was inspired by this person, right? So you kind of have them separate.
Yeah, separate.
But yeah, there is room, and this is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to, get there. But there is room for them to come together. I think it can be tricky, but I think there's definitely room for you to have this side and have this side, and then come together. Or people see your work and be like, actually, Ryan does that really well, and so we want him to do what he does over here, but for us over here, and it comes together. Yeah, and sometimes you will like I said, you'll be like a fashion photographer, and you'll just shoot all of the normal stuff but that has no meaning, but you're getting paid, or they like your style and that's why they want you, or you're buzzing and they like your style, and it's like, we've got this new photographer shooting this thing, right? But then you do enough of these, and eventually they will be like, oh, actually, like he also does this stuff, we like that. So there's room for it. It's just it can be tricky, but like I said, I'm still in a space of trying to figure that out. And like I always thought, like I've spoken to I've got like sort of mentors, like I've spoken to people that are like teachers and that are photographers, and they're very much like, I said this to them, I said, actually, I feel like I'm over here and there's no room for me over here. And he was like, I hear you, but actually, and he pulled up like some like shoots and stuff that he's been looking at recently, and he was like, I hear you, but like I know these photographers that I'm showing you, and this is the sort of work they do personally, but this brand or that brand has seen that and gone, actually, we want you to do what you do here, but for us over here. So there is scope for it to like come together. But I think because you're doing a degree, it's still very early stages for you. So I guess it's maybe it's more about like just trying everything and seeing what you like and seeing what sticks. And then once you know what you like and what sticks, then you can sort of dig a bit deeper into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more into film. I actually want to go into videography as well, because I feel like being part of, like, there's only so much you can do with an image, but I want to like expand that, because someone can come to me and say, this is the concept that I want, this and that, and then I create that, and then it's an image. But I want to work on like a larger scale, like I want a film or a moving image. So that's what I'm trying to get more into. I do like to experiment with a lot of things, because I do quite a lot. Like I do styling as well, and I'm hoping to get my makeup into it somehow. But
again, though, it's good, because I think I read somewhere that there was a fashion photographer. It might have been like, have you heard of Campbell Addy?
No.
It's a fashion photographer. And I think I could have been him, I can't remember. But Campbell Addy, he's a really good fashion photographer. I think it was an article from him, and he was talking about like studying when he, I think, studying at CSM when he was younger, and saying like actually like I think he tried a little bit of everything. So he's a fashion photographer, but because he has like an idea of like how hair works, and has the idea of like how makeup works, and has an idea of how styling works. When he's now choosing the people in his team, he knows actually how these things work. So even as a photographer, he has an understanding of like all of these things. That's when he chooses his team, it comes together and it works better. Which I know that's something I never thought about until I read that article, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and I thought actually that's a good point, to be honest. So there's nothing wrong with trying a little bit of everything, even if you have like a small understanding of things than the
That's
way when
right,
you do
yeah.
build a team or you're working with someone, and at least you got a small understanding, and that person might have like a better understanding, like expertise, but at least you're a little bit there, you know.
That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. I've been sending out like things to put a team together. So I'm asking for like actors, videographers. Where is it actually? Let me quickly read it out.
No, yeah. Have you heard of the exhibition at Saatchi at the moment called the New Black Vanguard?
No, I haven't actually.
Definitely got to that.
It's in London, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you not from London?
No, I'm from
Are you in
London.
Plymouth?
No, I'm in Birmingham.
Oh,
Yeah. But I will be going up there soon.
try and go to it. It's
Yeah.
they have a book though. There is a book as
Oh,
well.
the book.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bit expensive, but you know these books from exhibitions can be a bit much. But
Yeah.
it's worth checking out. It's a fashion photography exhibition, and
Oh, really?
if I'm not wrong, all of the photographers are black men, black women,
Okay.
non-binary, everything. I haven't been to it because I think this is the second time it's been done. The first time I found out about it after the fact, like the exhibition gone years ago, and I found out about it, and then I bought the book, and now it's come back around, and it's in Saatchi in like sort of central-ish London.
I know where Saatchi is because I'm from Essex, so I can I'll definitely check that out. Also, what was I going to say? In terms of events, how do you find out about like events that are going on with like creatives? You go to many.
Yeah, I follow. Networking is important.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at that. And promote self-promotion as well. I'm getting better at that. Follow people on Instagram. I follow a lot of people, a lot of organizations, and on Instagram you can like turn on notifications, so when someone posts you can see it. I've done that for a couple of people that I feel like are interesting. Also, I've just joined the mailing list, everything. Like
oh my God. It's saying 8 minutes remaining. Okay, we have 8 more minutes.
Right.
I don't have it. But anyway,
I joined the mailing list of everything. You go to like organizations' websites and just join the mailing list. But I can't remember how I did it, so you might have to Google it. But there's a way where you can join the mailing list of something, right? So I use Gmail. So you join all these mailing lists, but you can make like a separate folder. So when the mailing list email you, it doesn't go into your inbox. It goes directly into the separate folder. That way, your inbox is not like just overflowing with like mailing lists and mailing letters and stuff like that. That's good, and I do that a lot. And I get events and open calls and all of that stuff. Picter, Picter. I use them. There's always, I think it's more photography based though, but there's always competitions and open calls on there, so I'm always going through there to see what I can apply to, if anything's worth.
How do you spell that again? Picter. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just need to go to events because that's something I want to do. And as well, I do YouTube as well. So I'm also doing content, but I separate my photography because I think my photography persona is different from what I do with like YouTube and myself, because I am very much like fashion centered when it comes to myself. But photography, I like a bit of everything. I like raw images. Like I like creativity, just creativity in general, and especially collaborations with like people from different sectors. But yeah, I have 7 more minutes. But yeah, I think that's about it. But thank you so much, Ryan. Yeah, thank you.
No worries. I'm happy to help. And I mean, if you have any questions or anything, just message me on Instagram. I'm happy to answer.
I'll definitely do that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, happy to help.
Thank you. Bye.
Good luck with everything, yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.